can be different, but there is no other option. We cannot see a positive result unless and until the remedy is right. That similimum is not required to be having a constitutional remedy or a specific remedy, or let us not give it a name, but that indicated remedy has to match the exact phenomenon what is right now available in front of you, whether it is a miasm, whether it is a totality, whether it is an acute, or whatever it is. Now, going forward, I will first talk about this aphorism number 173, where Hahnemann says that those patients or those cases are one-sided cases or one-sided disease. And why they are one-sided disease? Because they have very few symptoms. Now, he has given example of two different scenarios. One is an internal malady, wherein he gives even a disease of gastric origin or migraine can be called one-sided disease if it does not give you enough symptoms. Similarly, he also talks about external disease, especially skin diseases, where you don't have much symptoms. Those both symptoms or both kind of conditions are called as one-sided disease. And he says that they are difficult to cure. Okay, but at the same time, what he writes in the footnote of aphorism number 119, that there is no substitute. So at one point, he says that it is difficult to ascertain totality or come to the right remedy, but at the same time, he also says that there is no option also. We have to select the right remedy. We cannot choose Calcutta in place of pulsatilla, or we cannot choose Calicap in place of Calibacromicum. Where Calibacrom is required, Calibacrom is only required and nothing else is required. Okay, so I am going to present my struggle in few cases that I have treated as to how we are living this even today, what was written before 200 years. Okay, now the topic I gave, the title was Diagnosis of the Disease and the Diseased. In order to create a portrait, we must diagnose the condition that we are treating, not the clinical name of the condition. When I am saying diagnosis of the disease, I am referring to aphorism number 3. What is to be cured in the disease is the diagnosis of disease for homeopathy. Blood pressure, some other migraine or asthma is not the diagnosis of disease. For us, what is the asthma in this particular case? 3 a.m. aggravation, amelioration by cold drinks in asthma case, aggravation by sun, amelioration by cold weather is the diagnosis of asthma in that particular case. Not the asthma is the diagnosis of the case. And second thing is the person who is suffering, the diseased. We must diagnose whether he is belonging to Kali group, Calcarea group, Natron group. That is the diagnosis of the diseased. Now, unless and until these two things are in place, we are very far from giving any relief to the patient. Now, in this process, what Hahnemann has very categorically told that what is the obstacle. What he writes is that the obstacle is attributed to the medical observer's want of discernment. What is the meaning of discernment? Anybody? Dictionary meaning of discernment? Judgment. Absolutely. Yeah? So, judgment. The entire game of homeopathy is around judgment of the physician. Judgment is not accurate. Remedy selection is not accurate. The clinical success of a homeopathy practitioner is largely dependent on his discernment. Is what Hahnemann has realized from his own practice. Now, I will just go through one case. This person presented with complaints of vitiligo, obviously because I am presenting vitiligo cases. I have not mentioned that here. But he was a short-tempered person, angry, quick-looking, and but with a short-lived anger, and likes open nature, and every day waking up in the morning he is not happy, he is stressed because a lot of commitments have come on him after his brother's death. Okay, and looking at his angry nature and his responsibility and his commitments and other things, remedies prescribed to him were kali and sulfur and lycos and other things were prescribed to him. Okay, 1 year was wasted in the entire thing, but this was the only thing that was available during the follow-ups also, and nothing more was given to me. Okay, then after 1 year, we set to take a review of the case again. I will not read the whole thing because we are not having that much time, but what was understood that this man who was pressed by the responsibility of the family, parents, brother who died, his family and everybody, so he was suddenly pressed with a lot of responsibility. Okay, but when the whole 1 year we just went into understanding that only that this man is a responsible person, but upon review it was understood that this responsibility itself was a stress for him and he wanted a way out of it. At one hand he wanted to fulfill the responsibility, but at the other hand he wanted to escape from this responsibility and he was feeling that it's a lot for him. Okay, so the totality was reviewed. He had a lot of anxiety about health, but this rubric was taken elements from responsibility. The illness started not because his brother died. The illness started not because he was in grief. See, I very frequently we use this example in my teachings, and I have seen in cases also that somebody dying is not automatically grief. Somebody dying in the family is not automatically grief. It can be many. So unless and until you correct that feeling, you will not be able to reach to the right understanding of the person. Elements from responsibility towards family. Now all these repertory rubrics that we are seeing, they are rubrics not just because they are some feelings, they are morbid feelings. Okay, they are not normal feelings. So if the other day we were discussing on one of the repertory session, and there was a rubric attachment to mother, attachment to father as a rubric. Now attachment to mother as a morbid attachment, and we must elicit that in our case taking, that this is why this attachment to mother is a morbid attachment. Similarly, here we are saying responsibility family towards when it becomes morbid. The responsibility to family is a healthy thing, right? Everybody will give you a medal if you are showing your responsibility towards the family. But the same responsibility when it becomes morbid, when you are installing CCTV cameras in your parents' house, and on top of it you are calling 3 times to check whether they are okay or not. It's a morbid responsibility, and that is affecting you. Moreover, it should affect you physically or in some other way. Remedies were natron sulfuricum, but we didn't take natron sulfuricum, we took uranium nitricum as a remedy. And this was the reference that we took from Dr. Rajan Shankaran, wherein he mentions that there is a very high sense of duty and responsibility under which they feel overloaded. So that was the theme of the case which helped us resolve this patient, and there were so many photographs we couldn't use, but this is one photograph just to show the before-after effect. Similarly, we'll go to case 2. Now this is very interesting case. This was the first time I have used this remedy, and in my 30 years of career I haven't seen anybody presenting case with this remedy. So it was more special for me. Okay, and before repertorization I never thought that I will use this remedy. Okay, so now this patient, all the information that you are seeing is just a gist of it, but it's actually a two-page information which was delivered to me by the patient in 15 minutes after meeting me for the first time. That much high energy patient came with. She was suffering from vitiligo, and she had a lot of anxiety. She was already on Cipralex for almost 2 years, and she had a lot of anxiety for very many things. So for routine practice and routine prescription, Kalika comes to us very easily, Ignatia comes to us very easily, and same thing we have done in this case also, that we have used Kalika, we have used Ignatia, we have used Sepia, nothing has worked. Okay, but anxiety is there. But the most important anxiety was that came after mother's death. The illness also started after mother's death. Now again, second example, mother's death is not equal to grief. Here, the mother's death is equal to what if something happens to me also. That is the anxiety. Okay, and that anxiety is so much that the patient says that my mother used to be, so well dressed, and she knew how to be presentable wherever she went. And after that 7 years she was bedridden and she died and all those things. So how something can happen to somebody? How something can happen to somebody that transformed into anything can happen suddenly. Suddenly something will happen. Okay, so patient says that in the best of situation, in the happiest moment of my house, I am not able to enjoy that happiness because I constantly fear that suddenly something will happen. And that led to more anxiety and other symptoms. At the same time, vitiligo also. I think I am talking about a different case actually, sorry. We'll go back to this third case and then we'll come back. This was it. And this was the repetition, dreams of dead people. She still dreams of mother. Okay, and then there is a fear that she will be judged and fear of unknown. Okay, and the remedy was Medarinum calcarea carbonicum, but we chose the third remedy, electricitas. There are hardly any references for this remedy. It is given in H.C. Allen's Mathematica on nozodes. And Clark has given description, some additional symptoms. But the energy with which patient presents and all the other symptoms of the case were matching to the Mathematica presentation that was there, and we can see the result. This is the before after pictures of the remedy. Patient is still almost more than a year now we are treating, and the patient is improving consistently. Now, third case, I will go here. Now, this is the case. Now, this case also presented to us with vitiligo patches. Patient has already done laser treatment for resolving the patches, and some of the patches have got better, and they have still, there is a relapse. And same patient does not give much of her details, and patient is little haughty and reserved, and he talks with a lot of attitude, and there nothing much that was available to the case. So say we have used natrium before, we have used sulfuric before, but nothing has helped. Okay, now on further in understanding, patient before a year he used to get angry a lot, now he is calm. Sometimes things negatively get said over small things. If he doesn't eat what he likes, he gets bored. Distance learning, parents in Pakistan is all taken during the COVID situation, and he was not able to go out of the friends, and which used to make him sad, and he used to make video calls with his friends, playing games makes him feel good, and he used to be shy before, but now he's fine. Found a lot of friends, so fine socially. The most important part is that he liked to be in groups. He didn't like isolation. If his family is around, he is good. If his friends around, he is good. Playing sports with friends, being with groups was something which he enjoyed always. Being alone was never his thing. Second thing, he used, even with another theme was that he used to get intimidated even with the large dogs. So there is a theme that we understood of animal kingdom, of particularly mammals, who like to be in the family, who are more like minerals. The mammals are classical like minerals, who are, minerals as theme have more affinity towards structures in terms of family, in terms of job, in terms of commitment, responsibility. Same thing goes with mammals. So after trying with mineral remedies, different view was taken, and mammal thing was understood in the case, and patient was given leg lupine. Patient had several patches all over the body, and slowly, most of them got resolved. Patient is still under treatment, and there is a continuous progressive resolution in the case. Now these are the three cases I wanted to present in detail. This is the fourth case, which was again treated initially with Calcarea carbonicum as a remedy, but then the remedy was changed to Pulsatilla, and we see the change. Okay. Similarly, this is another case which was originally treated with Natrum miraticum. In between, because of non-availability, patient approached some other doctor and he changed the remedy, and the patient started getting worse. And then he established his contact with me again. Patient was again put on Natrum miraticum and he again started resolving. This is another case which I treated initially with Calcarea carb, but it didn't work, and then it responded to Cilicia. What I am trying to say is that there are people who say, that homeopathy acts because patient has a faith in it and he takes it with faith. But if that was the case, then patient should respond with a wrong remedy. Just if it is working as a faith, or just if it is a placebo effect, then a wrong remedy also should help. Why 3 remedies consecutively fail and patient respond to 4th remedy only? That itself is a proof that homeopathic medicines are not something which does not have anything more than alcohol. Or homeopathic medicines do not contain any medicinal property. If homeopathic medicine did not contain a medicinal property, then he would respond to anything that is given in the name of homeopathy, and not that patient is given Calcarea carb, or if he demands Calcarea carb, then only Calcarea carb will help. Okay, and another thing that is what I am trying to say is that inaccuracy in perceiving the morbid phenomenon by homeopathic physician is the greatest obstacle to cure. And homeopaths are the only blessed people who are paid for making mistakes and keep learning for the rest of their life from their patients. And patients come and pay them happily for making mistakes. We can resolve some case after 1 year, after 2 years, because we didn't notice certain symptom, but patient keeps paying you for that mistakes. So it is a kind of our responsibility to be more aware of our lacunas in judgment and be our observation more and more accurate, so that the time taken for recovery is minimized. Thank you.